I'd like to take these few minutes to speak about one of the topics in this week's Torah portion, which is called Pesach Sheni, the second Pesach. Second Pesach. That implies there's the first Pesach and the second Pesach. We only know one holiday, Passover. It's expensive enough to have one, and we need two of them. All right, what is the second Pesach? What does that mean? So what happened, very interestingly, in the desert was as follows. The Torah reports to us that after the first year of leaving, the Jews left Egypt, and it was time to bring, time of Yudala Nisan, the 14th of Nisan came around, and it was now time to bring the sacrifice, the Korban Pesach, the sacrifice for the Pesach again, to remind ourselves of the great miracles that happened a year ago when we left Egypt. Okay? Now, the law is that if someone is tameh, tameh means, it's hard to define in English, I'll call it negative spiritual forces. It's the best. Impure is a very bad definition. Someone who's exposed to a dead person. So there's a certain degree of negative spiritual forces that are on such a person, and that renders him or her unfit to bring a sacrifice. So, a few people approach Moshe, our teacher, and say, we have a problem. We know that, Passover is soon approaching, and we are tameh. We have been exposed to dead people. We'll see who they were exposed to in a moment. And it renders us unfit to bring the sacrifice for the Pesach. What should we do? Why should we be left out from bringing this special sacrifice that all the Jewish people bring? That was their question. Now, if we were Moshe, we could have said a few things. Number one, we could have said, tough. What do you want from me? You want me to change the Torah? It is your fault. It's not your fault. But that's the law. Right? The law is that someone who is tameh, who has this degree of negative spiritual force in him, you can get out of it, but if you won't be in time to bring the sacrifice for Pesach, you just can't bring it. That's one thing he could have said. But there's another thing he could have said, which is even probably a better claim, which is that who were they exposed to exactly? He said that they were exposed to dead people. So the rabbis tell us that they were actually doing a big mitzvah. They were carrying the bones, according to one opinion, they're carrying the bones of Yosef, our patriarch Yosef, out of Egypt. He had commanded the Jews when left Egypt, please take my bones with me. And these people were carrying the bones of Yosef. Now, if that's the case, they're really involved in a mitzvah. They were doing a mitzvah of going to rebury, keeping the word of Yosef, our forefather, and going to bury him in the land of Israel. And the rule is, if you're involved in doing one mitzvah, then you're exempt from doing a second mitzvah. You're not obligated to a second mitzvah. They were involved in the mitzvah of going to bury the bones of Yosef. So Moshe could have very easily told them, Chevra, very nice. I know you want to bring this special sacrifice. You don't have to. You're exempt. Go home, go to sleep, everything's great. In God's eyes, you're perfect. Because it's true. Anyone who's involved in a mitzvah is exempt from doing a second mitzvah. So, we have two very easy answers. Tough is the easy one. If we want to get a little more in the thinking realm, we could say, well, you're really exempt anyway from bringing the sacrifice for the Pesach. So just go home. That's not what he told them. He says, wait, I got to go ask God. Not sure. Stand right here, I'll get back to you. After these messages. Comes back, says to them, God really thinks you have a good claim. And therefore, in a month from now, after you get rid of your tumah, get rid of these negative spiritual forces that are on you, you will be tar, and no problem, you will bring the second Pesach on the 14th of Iyar, a month later. Okay? So the question we want to try to answer tonight is, why didn't Moshe tell them those first two answers that we proposed? They really were exempt. What's wrong? Why? What's the problem over here? They're in the middle of doing one mitzvah, they're exempt from a second mitzvah. What's the problem? I think these people came to Moshe Rabbeinu and taught us a very valuable lesson. The Torah's terminology is why should we be held back from bringing the carbon from with the rest of the Jewish people? You know what they were saying? If you have a group of people doing such a good deed, why should we be held back? We want to be part of it too. We're exempt? You're right. We know we're exempt. But how could we not be part of something so special? We want to be part of it also. We're going to be left out. Moshe Rabbeinu saw and heard their purity of heart, nobility of spirit. They really want to be part of something good. I know they're exempt, but maybe we should do something else. They're coming with such a degree of devotion. They really want to do what's right. Have to see what we can do for them. So Moshe says, I'll ask God. God says, you have a point. You have a point. And therefore, we're going to make this in a month from now. We'll have a second opportunity to bring the carbon on the 14th of the year. And to me, this is a very valuable lesson it's being learned over here. Which is that when you see a group of people doing something good, you may be exempt. I'll give you an example. You know, everyone has limited incomes, and there are many charities around. But there's a certain charity you hear about, a very poor family that people are collecting for. And you've given your share of charity, right? And you may not have to give a lot, but you know it's a worthy cause. Our feeling should be, I also may want to be part of that. I'm not obligated to give everything, obviously. But it's such a noble cause, how do I not want to be part of it? It's that kind of spirit that we want to try to develop inside ourselves. That's to me, is the very valuable lesson. That even if we're technically exempt, we want to join in. And when God sees that, says that's something very special. That's something unique. It's actually so special, and we'll conclude with this, that really this whole idea of the second Pesach could have been said by Moshe earlier. He didn't have to wait till they came to them. This is a law in the Torah. So as soon as the Torah was given, Moshe could have said, who needs it? Let him come right away, say, this is the law, we're good to go. But that's not what happened. God said, these people deserve to have the merit of that law being given based on that. Because they did such a great thing. They had such nobility of spirit that they wanted to do it. So God willing, we should try to learn from that kind of nobility of spirit and say, we want to be part of that too.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.